Okay, so welcome everyone again to this session in our International Criminology Conference. Now we have the opportunity to hear about surviving the unthinkable, reintegrating modern day slaves. And here with us to present is Katrina Grison. Katrina Grison is a doctoral student at the American Public University. She is an active duty master sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, pursuing an applied doctorate in strategic intelligence. She received a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and a Master of Science in Strategic Intelligence from the National Intelligence University. Her research interests include international relations, strategic intelligence, cooperation and integration, and human trafficking. At present, her research is focused on the link between psychological treatment therapy and the reintegration of human trafficking victims into society. Her current research is situated within a multidisciplinary framework combining several disciplines such as psychology, law, public health, and social work, aimed at addressing both individual needs and systematic barriers. So thank you for being here with us, Katrina. And yeah, just remember, please put your comments, questions in the chat box, and hopefully we will have time to address them by the end of the presentation. So the room is all yours. Yeah, thank you. Welcome.
All right, is everybody seeing the slides that I put up? Thank you, Mauricio. All right, I hope so. So first of all, thank you so much, Mauricio, for that kind introduction. And for all of those who are out there viewing, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining and listening in to learn and hopefully contribute to this vital topic. As Mauricio said, my name is Katrina Grayson. I'm a doctoral student at the American Military University and American Public University system, studying strategic intelligence with a focus on human trafficking as well as intelligence coordination. So today I'm going to speak to you all about the reintegration of human trafficking victims, more specifically how psychological treatment enables those victims to reintegrate successfully. I missed a slide. Timeout. Okay, here we go. So, in real quick, I'm just going to share a story with you guys on how I got, I guess, started in my interest in human trafficking. So it's February 2nd, 2008, just another day in the grind. I'm a Lance Corporal in the United States Marine Corps at this time, enjoying a beautiful sunny day in Yuma, Arizona. For those of you who are not familiar, Yuma is the sunniest city in the United States of America. And it's quaintly located at the furthest southwest corner of Arizona. So right next to California and the Mexican border. So to say the least, it's scorching hot 8 months out of the year. But we would get about 4 full months of tolerable weather where you could go outside. So there I was, a 21-year-old Marine Corps Lance Corporal on a sunny, beautiful Saturday afternoon. Per the usual, I was leaving Barnes & Noble, having spent more money than I made as a Lance Corporal on books that I probably wasn't going to get to for another 5 years. But I stopped by Walmart, and this is significant. Walmart, I stopped by to grab some food for the week, right? And as I'm walking through the store, into the store, I just kind of glance over to my left and I see this huge wall of the most beautiful decoration of beautiful girls, all these ladies. So I'm thinking to myself that they probably represented a local girls' school and they were being recognized for something that they had done well in the community. So I went over to take a little closer look and started reading each of their profiles. So I read Natalia, age 15, missing since October 2003. Erica, age 12, missing since January 2002. Molly, age 3, missing since December 2006. So I scanned the wall. There's got to be at least 150 girls, each image staring back at me with these beautiful, giant, bright smiles representing who they used to be. I'm floored. A young, naive girl from Holler in Kentucky. I had no idea that that moment would change my life forever. Why are all these girls missing? I thought. Where'd they go? Little Molly is only 3 years old. It's not like she could run away. The emotional roller coaster that I experienced in that moment of shock can be compared to nothing other than the 5 stages of grief. These girls weren't posted here to show off their art skills or their recognition for involvement in the local community. They weren't members of the Awanas Club there to boast about all that they'd done. They were kidnapped, every one of them, lost in an abyss of slavery and silence, likely to never have been seen again. Hundreds of them. And what went through the mind of that young 21-year-old girl in that moment led to a shocking reality that truly has changed my path. Fast forward now, almost 2 decades, and my addiction to this topic and academia has me right where I started, with a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more drive. You see, I, like many other veterans, um, thought that after 20 years of war, I was just fine. I never thought I needed counseling. I'm a warrior, a trained killer with the world's most elite fighting force. That would never be me until it was. The trauma took hold, the nightmares began, and my life became worthless and undesirable. After years of self doubt, anger, and depression, I finally decided to get help, psychological help. It wasn't easy. I had no idea what I was doing, but the weeks that followed that commitment saved my life and dramatically changed the lives around me. Now, not all trauma is the same. The trauma that I experienced and the trauma that these human trafficking victims experience are vastly different. Therefore, treatment must be different. What I have seen, however, over the last several years of studying and analyzing this topic is that less than 50% of human trafficking victims have access to psychological treatment. There's a lack of resources, a lack of trauma informed services, there's a stigma of fear, there are legal and immigration issues. All these things prevent victims from getting the help that they need to successfully reintegrate. Human trafficking is the fastest growing and second largest criminal industry in the world. And it has become a national level concern prioritized by the US government and international governments alike. There's a significant gap in academic research surrounding the benefits of psychological treatment for victims. Research shows that more than 30% of survivors have stated that they were not provided substantial mental health treatment and other medical health care after being rescued. However, it's unclear at this time how many survivors have become re victimized as a result of not obtaining that necessary psychological treatment. I hypothesize that effective psychological treatment of survivors will prevent victims from returning to their captors and reduce worldwide spending substantially by preventing organizations from expending resources more than one time for each victim. So let's talk statistics for a minute. While I'm far more interested in the human rights aspect of the topic, it affects so much more. Not only is trafficking of humans one of the most prominent human rights atrocities today, but traffickers are collecting around $236 billion in profits. Furthermore, the US government spends about $124 million combating human trafficking every year. While these human rights abuses have affected the world for centuries, it wasn't until about the year 2000 that the United States created the Trafficking and Violence Protection Act, which was most recently reauthorized in 2019. The TVPA addresses human trafficking in three tiers: prevention, prosecution, and protection. At this point in time in my research, I am more interested in prosecution and protection and helping, again, reintegrate those victims into society, particularly through psychological treatment. But there's so much that needs to be done and significant gaps in academia, research, and collaboration at this time. There's a lack of mental health care available to trafficking victims, compounded by a myriad of other traumatic effects of trafficking, which often lead to the same victims returning to their captors. This can result from a lack of financial stability, drug addiction, dependence on captors, or a lack of other options to survive. In my research, I seek to explore qualitative and quantitative methods to identify the needs for and capabilities of psychological treatment for trafficking victims, and how these services can prevent victims from returning to their captors and therefore successfully reintegrating them into society. Generally, statistics or quantitative data surrounding the topic of human trafficking is pulled from government organizations or government funded organizations. A much smaller pool of academic literature exists regarding these topics, and even less expounding upon the specific needs of psychological treatment for victims. In my research, again, I seek to identify how the implementation of psychological treatment correlates with a victim's successful reintegration into society. I also hope to identify types of treatment and the results that those have in successfully reintegrating. Because again, trauma is different for each victim, therefore requiring a separate type of treatment for each victim. It's been 17 years since that beautiful sunny day in Yuma, that life-altering day that I experienced. While not a cloud in the sky that day, my world became incredibly dark. Over the years, I've committed my life to being a great Marine, friend, wife, daughter, sister, and more recently, a mom. But my passion remains in academia and serving others. I hope to use this platform to draw in other scholars, law enforcement, intelligence analysts, and agencies, NGOs, and whoever else can play a part in protecting the innocent from the cruel reality of modern day slavery. The effective application of psychological treatment in the reintegration process of combating human trafficking is not just a compassionate response, it's a vital investment in both human and dignity and societal well-being. When survivors are given the mental health support they need to heal from the deep trauma of their exploitation, they're empowered to rebuild their lives, regain independence, and contribute meaningfully to their communities. This healing process not only transforms the lives of the individuals affected, but it also has a profound impact on the economy, reducing the long-term costs associated with untreated trauma, unemployment, and dependency on social services. A society that prioritizes the mental and emotional recovery of its most vulnerable fosters a healthier, more productive population, one where the ripple effects of trauma are replaced with resilience, hope, and a renewed sense of purpose. In lifting these survivors, we strengthen the very fabric of our communities, proving that true recovery is both an emotional and economic imperative. I want to thank all of you so much for your attention today. I want to thank my professors at AMU for helping me with this research topic, and those who coordinated the conference, and all those who took the time to watch and listen in today. My contact information is listed here if anyone would like to reach out for any reason at all. And at this time, I'd like to open up for questions, comments, or concerns.
Yeah, thank you so much for this presentation. And yeah, please go ahead and let us know in the chat box if you have any question, comment. We have still a couple of minutes. Yeah, more than a couple.
Were you all able to see me as I was changing the slides there? I see, Mauricio, you had mentioned at 12:31. I didn't see your comment until right now. I just brought up the chat box. Were you all able to
Oh,
see the statistics on the slides?
yes, yeah. Don't worry. Yeah, that was just at the beginning. I was,
Okay.
yeah, questioning that, but yeah, everything was perfect.
All right, great. Well, I certainly hope that I was able to provide a little bit of statistical knowledge and awareness for this topic. It's certainly been a concern of mine, and I've done a lot of research on it. So please pick my brain if you all have any questions at all on how this topic can contribute to your research, or maybe how your research can contribute to mine. I think that a big issue and concern that I've seen in my research is just a lack of collaboration and communication across networks, across agencies and facilities who are all working primarily in silos to contribute to combating human trafficking. So, again, please reach out if you all have anything that might help my research, or if I can help you in any way. I certainly want to bridge the gap in communication and collaboration across agencies. Well, I do have one more slide. Obviously, I have to provide the references that I used for my research. This is just a short list of the very many that contribute, but I have more if anybody's interested. I have 5 more minutes, Mauricio. Do you want to just leave the venue open?
Hi, thank you again, Katrina. I guess we can close and remember the telephone and email of Katrina Grison is right here on the screen, or you can reach her through our Huba platform. Because probably there will be more comments, but right now people are not feeling confident. And one other great thing about this conference is that after 1 or 2 weeks, all the conferences are available online. So that's a great way to keep the participation going on and the audience reaching out your presentation. So
Great, thanks.
yeah, thanks again for being here. We can have now a 10-minute break, and please join us in some many different topics regarding criminology in this wonderful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Absolutely. I look forward to seeing everyone's presentations today.